feels so dainty.
Yeah, and like unpredictable.
Yeah.
At any sudden movement, it just could go slosh. It just goes.
I had to take a sip of mine before we got over here, so I knew I wasn't going to spill it.
It is tasty.
It is really
It's
good.
really good, just dangerous.
Yeah. It's the raspberry. The raspberries taste like raspberry.
Rasp. Rasp.
What is happening?
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Welcome back to Plot Twist Please, where we sip, flip, and spill the tea on books and booze. I'm Susanna.
I'm Cass.
And I'm Beth. So today we are doing a much requested deep dive into A Court of Thorns and Roses. So we have read the book, and then we read the book again. So let's talk about it.
Today's drink is called the Rose of Prythian, and it's in these martini glasses. If you're looking for a spring court-inspired cocktail, this one delivers with a taste of sweet berries and a soft floral finish.
I'm liking it.
This is really yummy.
It is very yummy.
Yeah.
And it looks like the book.
Yes. Yeah.
Themed.
Yeah. So maybe we were good that we didn't go with the ice cream.
Did you submit that I was right?
Oh no, not at all.
Beth really wanted
You
ice
did.
cream,
It was
guys.
recorded. You can't take it back.
I'm just admitting that you weren't completely wrong. There's a difference. Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so before we jump into our deep dive, what's everyone reading right now?
I'm reading The Housemaid is Watching. So after we went to go see the Housemaid movie,
Yep.
Cass, I started reading the second book, and then I realized I already read the second book. So then I was like, I'm not going to reread it. So I read the novella, which is The Housemaid's Wedding, between book 2 and book 3. And now I'm on book 3, and it is trash.
Oh,
I have
Yeah.
heard that.
It's very repetitive. Facts that have already been reiterated throughout the whole series that we would know at this point in the game are being retold, and not just once, but multiple times throughout this book.
Yeah.
And
That
I'm like,
sucks.
why are you telling me this? And also, Enzo is pissing me off.
Another book did that. Haunting Adeline. She did that one on Adeline's grandma. Because remember she had,
Phantom?
was it Phantom?
Yeah.
Could have been. But I was just like, I remember like part of my review was just being like, there's nothing new to the story. You didn't give us anything we didn't already know.
Yeah, I was like literally reading it kind of from
You'd already gotten all the
Yeah.
information through
the notes,
yeah,
the letters.
Haunting and Hunting Adeline.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate when they do that.
yeah. She gets it's her grandmother's house. And then she finds or something like that, her diaries.
Yeah.
And then so she finds out that her grandmother was having like this sordid affair but then just kind of stops.
Yeah.
And her grandmother died and you don't really know, but then you start to like pieces start to get filled in. But everything that you find out is in the novella of her grandma. And so I was like so excited because I was like, yes, we're going to like really find. I'm just like, that's it? That's it?
I know. That was
Like,
probably
and even the ending of it
the
was just like
worst, the worst one out of like all of the
to me it was just like
stories.
such a money grab of so many people who probably loved Haunting and Hunting Adeline.
Yeah.
Were like, yeah, and then you read it and you're just like,
I think my favorite side story from Haunting and Hunting Adeline, we're going way off topic here, is Where's Molly?
oh yes, yeah, that was fantastic.
I loved that one. Yeah.
So
I've never read them, so I can't.
they're
relate.
very dark.
They are
I will
very
say.
dark. Yeah. But if you read Manacled, I feel like you could read these books.
That's true.
Probably. Manacled was probably the darkest book I've ever
There's
read.
no like limbs and stuff hanging from the ceiling.
No.
Heads, Ron Weasley
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
So
Beloved characters.
yeah, but I couldn't read it for that alone because that would break my heart.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Well, I finished ACOTAR, my reread, and so I've got Kingdom of the Wicked
Locked and Loaded.
locked and loaded.
I think we're gonna start that tonight. I feel.
Yeah, I'll be done. I'm just getting through it.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the twist, and then I'll be good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah.
I'm reading.
Since they did not mention what book they talk about for the next 5 minutes, it was at this point Cass held up Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed.
Oh my lord!
We have been spiraling. Some of us have been spiraling longer than others.
Beth and Cass are spiraling. I am out of the spiral. I'm not spiraling at all.
We, as in we on the couch, have been
Yeah.
have been spiraling, and we've been trying to convince Susie to come spiral with us.
It's just if you know, you know. You
It
know.
is. It is all encompassing.
Explain.
And this is how. Okay, this is.
I don't
when
even know.
You
when
can't
it
explain it. You
happens.
have to just watch. Like you have to just know. You have to just experience it. And this is how you know it's good. I will never watch a show and then go and read a book because once
Yeah.
I've watched the show,
and
I'm like,
finish
why
the
do I
show
need to-
and then watch the show again.
I haven't done that yet.
But you're starting.
Oh, I will. After I finish the book, I will be going back for rewatch number 2.
It's only one season, right?
Yes.
Is it
And
like a
there's-
short series?
There's only 6 episodes.
Yes.
and then
They're
they're
about
not
an
doing a season
hour
2.
long each.
Yeah. And like their love story, without giving any spoilers away, is like a span. So in these 6 episodes, it's a span of over like 9 years, to give you a little insight.
I said to Cass, like, I couldn't even go to bed and read or anything. I literally just had to lie there and stare at the ceiling.
It's like, I don't know what happened. It's like, and you're not, were you immediately attracted to either of them? Because I wasn't.
No, I mean, Ilya in the shower scene, like when he's
That
standing
was
there
the
and the
turning
towels like
That was the turning
flung
point
low
for
on
me
his
too.
hips, you're just like, hey,
And then the
the basketball butts, but
you just need to read it and maybe watch it.
come spiral with us, Susie.
It's
We'll
honestly a
spiral
problem.
with
It's
us.
I'm unwell.
I don't need another problem. I was like addicted to Outlander. I don't need to feel that way again.
This is up there. This is up there with like the like Outlander addiction,
ACOTAR.
ACOTAR addiction.
It's unhealthy.
Like,
I have a
it's
problem.
extremely unhealthy. You do spiral. Your world just kind of revolves.
It's
around
altered.
It,
It alters your brain
yes.
chemistry.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I don't know how. I don't know at what point, but something happens, and
Yeah.
then your life is.
That's what I mean. There was
forever
never
changed.
there's never one moment that I was like, this is it.
I know,
Yeah.
because Caitlin messaged me and she's like, she started watching it because I had already watched it. Well, I had already watched like the first episode, and I was like, you have to watch it. And it got me from episode 1, but she texted me and she's like, I don't know if this is my thing. Like, I don't know if I'm into it. And I was like, just watch episode 2. So then she messaged me back and she's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think I needed the second episode because I think both of you said like you're like give it at least 2 episodes before you decide, and I was
hooked from number
Yeah.
1. She was.
I was in from number 1. So
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Perfection. Chef's kiss.
So.
I could go on. I could do a whole episode about it.
well, bringing it back
Yes.
to one of our OG obsessions.
Yes.
So this is your spoiler warning. Again, we have been requested to do this episode and do a bit of a deeper dive into each book. So this is a deep dive into the first book of the series, so A Court of Thorns and Roses. As always, full spoiler warning ahead, especially, as I said, the deep dive. We will only be dissecting book 1, so no talk of book 2. We know nothing.
Yeah. We're doing each book individually as they deserve.
Yeah.
Well, and then I think for the second book, we can start to bring in things from the first book, and then the third book, bring in the
Yeah.
first. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that. But at
Yeah.
this point,
We know nothing of the other books.
yes, we do, but we don't.
We do, but we don't, and neither will you.
So let's start with the courts. So there are 7 courts that rule Prythian, each with a high lord ruling over it. So we have, at this point, what we know, the Spring Court, which is ruled by Tamlin. So the Spring Court is a land of rolling green hills, lush forests, and clear, bottomless lakes. And then to the south of it, you have the Wall and the Mortal Realm. And then the northern borders are the Summer Court and Autumn Court. There's the Summer Court, and then the Autumn Court is ruled by Lucien's father, and then his mother and brothers still reside there. You have the Winter Court, Dawn Court, Day Court, the Night Court. So the Night Court is ruled by Rhysand. Now the symbol of the court is described as a mountain with 3 stars, and in chapter 25, the Night Court is said to be the northernmost bit of Prythian. Lucien and Tamlin go on to describe it as a court that does what it wants. They live by their own codes, their own corrupt morals, that they are all sadistic killers who delight in the torture of every kind.
And then before we get into the synopsis of the book, let's get into our characters. First, we've got Feyre Archeron. She's described as having bronze hair, like a golden brown. She's very pale with gray blue eyes. She's her family's sole provider. She's very malnourished looking at the beginning of the book. Oh, well, that's what she's described as.
Yeah. Then we have Elaine Archeron. So she's got a bit of a weaponized incompetence to her. I think really her sisters kind of let her do that. They let her have that. But she doesn't seem to grasp that she could help with things. And she very much enables Nesta and seems to care more about her feelings. So like Nesta would lash out at Freya and Elaine would be like, Feyre, wow. Nesta would lash out at Feyre and Elaine would be like, ooh, like following Nesta, like, it's okay. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
And then we have Nesta, who is the oldest of the 3 sisters, and she took the loss of the archer in Fortune the hardest. And quietly, actually, I don't think she really quietly resented. I think she very much was showing that
Loudly.
she resented.
She loudly resented.
With her
resenting
actions.
her
Yeah.
father and was very hostile towards Feyre. Both of the sisters are very greedy. Just let Feyre do all of the hunting, all of the providing. Don't bother to help. And if Feyre asks them to help, like specifically Nesta, she'd be like, no, I'm not going to go out there and cut wood.
Yeah.
They both suck in their own regard.
Yeah. I was just thinking of like the wood scene too. They come off at the beginning very like greedy.
Yeah.
Like the two evil stepsisters from
Yeah.
Cinderella vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we got Father Archeron. He's got busted ass knees. He can't work. His children resent him for not fighting back against the creditors who came, and they're the ones that actually like repeatedly bashed his knees in. He spent a lot of their fortune on his health after that event, and he relies on Feyre a lot. He's a very absentee father. He doesn't say or do much, but every once in a while he will tell a story of the Fae.
Then you have Feyre's late mother, imperious and cold with her children, but joyous and dazzling among the peerage who frequented their former estate. She was doting on their father, who was the one person whom she truly loved and respected. I like Nesta personality-wise, so I think kind of nasty. Feyre's mom died from typhus when she was 8, and she made Feyre, an 8-year-old, promise stay together and look after them. And Feyre resented that her mother asked her and not her eldest sisters. In their world, a promise means more than anything, more than money.
Then we have Tamlin, who is revealed to us at first as a beast. After dragging Feyre to Prythian, he changes into a green-eyed, golden-hair man before her eyes, which freaks her right out. Stuck wearing a gold and emerald mask, she thinks it's just a fashion statement that all of the people in this court are wearing masks.
She's like, this is weird. Well, it's very like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When like they all have like their weird outfits and you're just like, this is weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's wearing this gold and emerald mask. Emeralds in the shape of leaves, which is very fitting for the spring court. Basically, it's revealed that the power of magic surged 49 years ago. It welded the masks to everyone's faces.
Then we have Lucien. He is stuck in a fox mask. He has 1 amber and 1 gold mechanical eye and a scar across the face and that eye, the mechanical
one, yeah.
He's redheaded, feisty, and he immediately resents Feyre and makes digs at her constantly. He fell in love with a non-high fae woman, and he was certain the mating bond was going to snap into place, and he planned to marry her, but his father had her put down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you had Alice. So she's the servant of the spring court and Feyre's lady maid. So she is very honest, very blunt with Freya, especially at the beginning.
Freya?
Freya, I can't. It's Brienne's dog. Feyre.
And it keeps autocorrecting to...
So yeah, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Is that my brain's like what, like short circuiting.
Yeah.
All right, Alice. We have Alice, servant of the spring court and Feyre's lady maid. She is very honest and blunt with Feyre right at the beginning. Now, after losing the glamour, she is described as having skin like tree bark.
And Feyre's like, who the heck is this?
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
is Alice?
Where's
But I think it's funny because she's not like, oh my goodness, like this woman has skin like tree bark. She's like, where's Alice? Is Alice sick? And
Yeah.
she's like, what
Are you?
drugs are you on?
Are you mentally ill?
But you think they would have known that there was like that glamour there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have the Suriel, which is a tall, thin, and veiled creature, has a hunched back. You can see the spine like through the cloak. Bald, which is probably why we thought it was a male, but it's actually neither a he or a she. It truly
genderless creature.
the voice of many.
Yes.
And it's a truly horrifying sounding voice of many old and young, both male and female, beautiful and grotesque. And yeah,
This is the first time that the watery bowels that
Come into
Feyre
play.
struggled with.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sarah J. Maas was struggling with some diarrhea during writing this.
I don't know if she was trying to describe like the feeling of fear low in your belly.
Where you just like the anxiety.
You have to, like, you feel like you have to take a poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people who get anxious poops.
That's me.
I mean, I don't get anxious poops, but I mean, if I ever feel watery bowels coming on,
It's one thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. Then we have the devil herself, Amarantha. She is a powerful and cruel high fae general from Hybern who becomes the tyrannical, self-proclaimed High Queen of Prythian, ruling under the mountain and enslaving the courts after a betrayal involving her sister and a mortal man named Jurian. She is described as not devastatingly beautiful. Her face always has a sneer on it. and her red gold hair and mouth is always painted bright red.
Then we got Rhysand. So he appears for the first time in chapter 20, so you do have to get there. But he is the most beautiful man Feyre has ever seen. Fair, black hair, violet eyes, tattoos, always in the same black attire. He is High Lord, as we said before, of the Night Court. He's got bat wings and talons and claws, and he's described as very similar to the ACOTAR, but he doesn't do a full shift like Tamlin does.
Or he can, but chooses not to.
Yeah. All right. Summary. The story starts off with Feyre going hunting because she's the main provider for her two sisters and also her father. They're in the Mortal Lands. At this point in time, there's a wall between the land of Prythian, the fairy lands, and then the Mortal Land. She goes hunting one day. She sees a doe, but she also sees this wolf. And the wolf kills the doe, but she also decides to kill the wolf, thinking that it's not a fairy, but also thinking, you know, if it is a fairy, I hate them, so it's going to die. So she kills the wolf, and then she goes into town to talk to a mercenary and basically gets some more information about the fairies and how there's been fairies crossing over the border. And then Feyre's like, oh my gosh, what if I did kill a fairy? Goes home from being in town, and then a beast appears, and it's got like a wolf-shaped face, I think. And then deer antlers.
Yeah, like little horns.
Yeah, horns.
Spiraling up.
Hooves.
A ferocious creature just appears in her doorway, speaks English, and is like, who killed my friend? A life for a life. Us reading the story, you'd think that Feyre has to die because she took this other fairy's life. Well, no, this beast says that she has to live the rest of her days in Prythian. It takes them 2 days, I believe, to get to the wall.
Yep.
She annoys this beast guy so much that he just knocks her unconscious, and then she wakes up in the spring court.
Well, I think he probably was going to do it anyways, but
Yeah.
I think it was just like, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
It was just
Now
like-
is the right time.
It was
You keep
conveniently timed.
talking, and
I'd probably do the same.
Yeah.
She wakes up in the spring court, and she's kind of like, what's next? Like, am I going to be in a prison?
what am I going to do?
Yeah, am I going to be in a cell? And then the guy who turns into a very handsome high fae with a golden mask.
Handsome.
Well, that's how she describes it.
It's true. He's supposed to be this beautiful man.
Yeah, with
golden
golden
man.
locks.
Yes.
Yeah,
With his golden blonde
green
locks.
eyes, golden mask appears, and he's sitting at the dining table, and he's like, basically, I don't care what you do with your life as long as you spend the rest of your time in Prythian.
Yeah.
And she's like not sure what to do with herself because her whole life, basically, after her mother passed, was to take care of her family. So she's never had time to just be by herself.
Yeah.
So she spends time in the spring court, expecting to go to a prison cell, goes hunting with Lucian. I didn't know it was pronounced Lucian, by the way. I thought it was Lucian this whole time. And then
I thought it was
listened
Lucian too. It's
Yeah.
Lucian?
I listened to the audiobook like for the last half of this.
Yeah.
I
and
don't
it
think
was
the
Lucian.
audiobooks are always correct, though.
Yeah. Put a comment below how you pronounce it, because I always pronounced it Lucian.
Same.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
did. So I was like, oh, I'm humbled. So the beast guy, his name is revealed to be Tamlin through a conversation between him, Lucian, which is a red-haired fairy that has a fox-like mask, who's also friends with Tamlin. And Tamlin's name is revealed. And he tries to make efforts to spend time with Feyre, and she has no interest. She hates fairies. This is the guy that took her away from her home, so she doesn't want to do that. But she goes and spends time with Lucian, hoping to get more information on how she's gonna
desperate to get back to her
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, no one's going to take care of them like I can.
But Tamlin also literally tells her multiple times that her family is actually well looked after now.
Yes.
So he's actually looked after them, but she doesn't believe that.
I think because at first it was kind of just like haphazard comments, like your family's taken care of, it's fine.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm telling you, your family is.
They're more looked after than when you were looking after them, basically.
Yeah, and under this whole time, she's under the impression that fairies can't lie,
Yeah.
and then it's
Yes.
revealed that they can actually lie. So
Yeah.
she goes hunting with Lucian, and this actually hurts Tamlin's feelings because he's actually reached out and
little
tried to
bitch.
spend time with Feyre.
Sorry, what? What? Did you not hear me?
No, what do you say?
A little bitch.
And then Lucian gives Feyre information on how she can get more answers, and this is by capturing the Suriel. And the Suriel is like some ratted, cloaked, spindly, like figure, bony figure.
AKA Gossip Girl.
We do go a little bit.
The Suriel is Gossip Girl. The Suriel knows all things.
So she captures the Suriel against Lucian's advisement, but basically he's also like, I'll be around if anything happens to you. So go
Well,
ahead.
I think he was like, you should do it. Maybe not, but
You should.
you should do it.
Yeah, if you die.
If you call out, I will come.
Winkety wink.
Yeah.
So she captures the Suriel to see if there's any chance she can go home. The Suriel says, no, absolutely not. But stay with the High Lord and you will be safe. So she's like, okay, I'll stay with Tamlin then. After that, she starts to warm up to Tamlin. But another thing the Suriel reveals is that there's this kingdom of Hybern, which is across the water. It's like an island and it's ruled by this king. And how 50 years ago he sent out his generals because he was unhappy with the treaty with the humans because he lost his human servants. So she's getting all this background.
Rats.
Yeah.
Eventually, the days go on. She's getting warmer to Tamlin, kind of being a little bit more friendly with him. And then she also gets attacked by a lesser fairy known as the Naga. And Tamlin saves her. So this is like the pivotal point where Feyre is like,
He is
maybe
not
he's
so
not
bad.
so bad. Yeah.
not so bad. He saved my life. And then she asks for paint and all is well.
As well. He shows her the library and then this like space where like she could paint. And he sets her up with this like little studio where she can do all of her artistic things.
Which she
and
apparently
Tamlin is
sucks
just
at.
so glorious and wonderful.
Yeah.
And then one night Tamlin shows up with a blue-skinned fairy who's like screaming or he's a, what is he? A lesser fairy?
He's a lesser
Yeah.
fairy.
And he has his wings cut off and he keeps screaming like, she took my wings, and Feyre's comforting this fairy and trying to like say it's gonna be okay.
This is also very much a turning point for Feyre and how she feels towards fairies.
Yeah, I think she starts getting more of a softer side, seeing like living with amongst them and seeing how vulnerable they can be as well. This lesser fairy keeps repeating, she took my wings. So it's a little hint at something to come. And after this moment, Feyre starts thinking like, wow, like they're not as bad as I think. She starts having regrets about killing Andrus, the wolf that she killed. She starts feeling little sexual attraction to our golden-haired boy, Tamlin. Little tingles. After seeing the gallery that he made for her where she started painting. And then she realizes how...
He didn't make it.
No, like it was already there.
He just had it cleaned.
He had it cleaned and he had like all the
Servants had to clean
supplies
it.
were in there for her. So then it starts to make her realize how very little her actual family cared about her because they never would have done something like that for her. It was always her doing that for them.
Yep.
Then he kisses her hand lightly and her core clenches. She gets the flutters in the vagina. And then after that, little things he does kind of just gets her, revs her engine a little, gets her
Hers.
going. Yeah.
When he reads the poems, I'm like, blah.
Oh, and then Tamlin reads her poems.
He reads her poems using words that she wrote down.
Yes. From
right.
her list.
Yeah,
When
from
she
her
was
list
trying to
of
teach
words.
herself to read. And then these
Yeah.
were words that she didn't understand, but they were like
You and I don't know the other ones.
conflagration.
Yeah, that was one of the random words.
Yeah.
That he had. He went and wrote a
And
poem
wrote this
somehow.
poem and like read it to her, and she's like, "Oh my god,
Oh my gosh, 10 plus
he's
effort.
so nice."
Well, we have to also acknowledge the fact that Tamlin was very much like a musician. Like he,
Oh yes, his violin.
he played the fiddle,
fiddle.
and he like
It's different.
if he wasn't High Lord, he would have been like a musician or something. But his family,
Well, he would
looked
have been
down
a
on that.
warrior.
Well, that too, but I think he'd also be
A warrior
like,
musician.
Jack of all trades. You know?
Yeah.
And then that brings us to Calanmai. Calanmai?
Calanmai.
Calamari.
Yeah, calamari. In my head, I was pronounced it calamai.
Calamai. Yeah.
Calamai. Okay, we'll go with that.
They're just so hard to
Yeah.
pronounce. Words are hard.
We're all about just, do
So-
what you want to do with these words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leading up to Calanmai, Tamlin basically tells her, we're having this celebration. You can't come.
You're not invited.
You're not invited. So stay in your room and don't leave.
That never goes well.
Right.
No.
But there's this there's music playing and basically the drums call to her and she gives in because she's like, I want to know. So as she arrives, she realizes she can't see the Fae straight on, but gets a better look from the side. And 3 Fae have, what, did I miss a part?
No.
Oh, okay. It just did not flow properly.
It's quick notes.
Okay.
You guys, I didn't realize we were going to be going on such an extravagant.
Journey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she can't see these Fae straight on, but out of the corner of her eye, she sees 3 Fae that corner her and start grabbing her. And then we get the iconic line, "There you are. I've been looking for you," from
The most handsome person.
a
or-
mysterious, dark-haired, beautiful, tall, handsome man.
She describes him as the most handsome man,
the most
she's ever seen.
beautiful man
Yeah.
she had ever seen.
Yeah.
So knowing who and what she is, or what he is, the 3 other Fae leave. And so she's like, huh, interesting. This man must have power.
Yeah.
So then our man Lucien comes across Feyre and loses it on her, basically saying, what are you doing down here? We told you not to be here. You weren't invited.
Yeets her all the way back up to the manor.
Yeets her back
He
upstairs.
Edward Cullen'd her right out of there. It literally says like he threw her over his shoulder and ran super fast, like faster
Like a
than
spider
she-
monkey?
Yeah, but
Yep.
faster than should like was really like.
Oh my gosh. And she goes back
Normal.
to the manor and she's forbidden from leaving the manor the rest of the night. He states that he will have to try and control Tamlin when he comes out of the cave and smells her and that she isn't there. Smells her.
Yeah.
He had to go for another person because she wasn't there.
Oh, yes.
He had to pick another.
Yes, another. So after the drums finish in the middle of the night, Feyre wakes, she leaves her room and Tamlin's there.
Yep, Tam.
And he's feeling a little riled up, a little
Frisky.
frisky, if you will, after whatever happens at Calanmai.
Those little dalliance.
Yeah, he tells her how he smelled her,
Yep.
like Lucien said, and could not find her, and it made him pick another. Tells her how this other asked him not to be gentle, but whispers in her ear, I would have been gentle with you, though.
Just ick all around.
And
Although when I
he
first read
bites
it,
her like shoulder, like neck.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just
he
like,
really liked her neck for some reason. You'd think he
I think
was
you
a
have like
vampire.
pheromones that come out there, don't you? Like
Could
it's
be.
like
So,
a
yeah.
spot.
isn't that when they first banged, too?
No.
No, he loves on her neck quite often in this book.
No, after...
No.
No, it wasn't?
No. He walks. They separate.
Oh yeah, he doesn't bang her here.
Yeah.
Right.
He just
Yeah.
leaves.
He just dips out.
There's actually a lot less sex in this than I remembered.
Oh, there's like barely anything.
So Tam and Feyre start spending more time together. They spend some time in the Enchanted Forest,
So romantic.
where he allows her to see the world as he sees it. Little does she know that he has had her glamored this entire time. But there's a price to this. He tells her that he wants a kiss in exchange. I know, but you gotta give it to Feyre because her kiss, because he doesn't specify, she kisses his hand.
Oh, I know. That was great. But I'm just like, him. He's so icky.
I'll do this if you give me a kiss.
And she's like,
So he kisses her eyelids.
she didn't give me her hand.
Sorry.
I was reaching for it. And she
Rejection.
was like, and he was like, perfect.
She just wiped it off.
Yeah, he's like, I'll accept. So nice. So he kisses the back of her eyelids, and
That to me was just weird.
I
real
don't know if
strange.
that's how he was removing the glamour.
Oh, maybe.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
that's
Like
what it
kissing
Was
her.
that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Removing the glamour?
Yeah.
Why can't you just like wave his hand and do
Whenever
it?
I read that, I'm like,
And then after having her brain like exploded with all of this like sound and color and everything, she falls asleep.
fair enough.
And as she's falling asleep, he goes, "You're exactly as I dreamed you to be too." Meaning,
What do you mean?
we'll get into that later.
Hammers?
Give him stalker vibes.
Right?
Yeah.
He's just so gross.
So Rhys
Did you
then
think that the first time you read it?
I did,
though?
yeah. And you know why, though? This is your fault. Because I knew there was another someone that was going to enter the picture.
That was my fault?
Yes.
How?
Because you were always talking about this Rhysand person.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
regardless, I don't think I would have liked him at all because he just exudes ick.
I loved him.
You did?
You're also very
At
against
first,
the blonde.
yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah. You're against the blondes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, this was the first series that really showed me that blonde people suck. Sorry, Beth. Blonde men suck.
Men.
In
And the
fantasy,
black-haired
yeah.
beauties are where it's at. But Beth rocks. She doesn't suck, for the record.
I'm the best. Be my best friend. Don't forget that.
I thought we settled this.
Beth is still
Never.
upset. She's still
Be my
deeply
friend.
hurt.
Yeah. My best friends. So over dinner, Rhysand comes a visiting.
Comes a knocking.
Yeah. And they hide Feyre behind Lucien. But Rhysand's all like, I'm on to you guys. And
He goes,
yeah.
I'm on to you.
But not till after they drop the name of the elusive she,
The she.
Amarantha. Now, I actually do want to mention at this point, so up until now, And even after this, but really up until now, Tamlin and the rest of the Spring Court, Lucian, Alice, have all been talking about the Blight, about how 50 years ago, there was this surge in magic, is pretty much how they described it, that fused these masks to their face just for the Spring Court. There hasn't really been anything they've been able to do. And then pretty much he kind of described it as like there's a surge of magic and then it dropped, and they haven't been able to touch their full potential of magic since then. Now all these things, they kind of say like it was because of the Blight, and the Blight is ramping up again, and it's affecting other courts, and
there was also a threat of it crossing the wall too.
Yeah, and the Naga and what was that other one? The one that shows up as her dad.
There's a Naga, and then there's the
because she
does it
sees
start
him.
with the P.
Puka.
The Puka. Yes.
No,
Puca.
there was.
Yeah, the Puka. So there are these darker, lesser fairies that are kind of really creepy and evil, I guess would be the best way to, but they've been crossing the wards into the Spring Court because essentially the magic just isn't holding them out.
Yeah.
So then we finally get this name to this she that Feyre keeps hearing about, Amarantha. So Rhys kind of digs his claws into Feyre's mind, which is one of like his powers that he has, and he's able to kind of rifle through. Yeah. So he just mentally, he's like,
give me a name.
Yeah. Well, it was afterwards that he's like, what's your name?
Yeah.
And Feyre kind of goes through this inner monologue of what she should do. And she just drops this random name, Claire Better.
Yeah.
At that point, you have no idea who this girl is or if the name is even someone who exists. You're just like, okay. But she's like, I don't think I should give this guy my name.
Wait, I'm pretty sure we did know her name. She was mentioned before Feyre went to
Yeah,
Prythian.
she was actually.
Yeah.
As like, well, I know like she was like a family friend.
Yeah, it was mentioned in that aspect early, like in the beginning of the book.
So we knew who she was. We didn't have a lot of detail on her, but we've heard the name before.
Yeah. Okay. But Rhysand says to Tamlin that Feyre would have been the one for you at that point.
What do you mean, Rhysand?
What? That's what he says he's like, pretty much like if Amarantha didn't happen, things like that, he's like, she would have been the one for you. That's what he says. Mm-hmm. I have questions.
Interesting.
Yeah. Tamlin, after this, absolutely loses his mind.
Goes on a rampage.
Yeah. Once he's done losing his mind, he goes and finds Feyre, and then they make sweet, sweet love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet love making.
Yeah. But he's like, you got to leave in the morning. And she's all like, not until I've got you inside me.
Yeah.
So they finally make the loves. But it's very closed door at this point.
This whole book is pretty closed door.
Yeah.
It is, surprisingly.
Spoiler alert.
So Feyre leaves against her better judgment. And she, at that point, one of the things that kind of kept circling around in her mind was that the Suriel kept telling her to stay with the High Lord. Mm-hmm. And part of her was like, she, the Suriel has told me to do that. I don't know if I should go. But then it was like, well, everyone's telling her to. Tamlin's telling her to. Like, this is the only way for her to survive. So she's like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
So, peace. Yeah. So she leaves. Her family has been under the influence that she has been spending time with her sick aunt this entire time.
Yep.
So she comes back. She's got these piles of gold and jewels, and her family's all like, welcome back. Happy to have you. And Nesta's like, I got my eye on you.
Nesta.
Yeah. Silent but watching, which silent for Nesta is very rare.
Yep.
So you know something was up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She had the cold, calculating glare.
Yeah. And the entire time that she's home, Feyre doesn't paint, which has kind of become part of her personality at this point of being in the Spring Court, is how much time she spent painting. She had gifted those paintings to, or at least a painting to Tamlin.
Yeah.
And I think she mentioned also wanting to give one to Lucian as well. But,
Maybe. I don't remember that part, but probably.
But yeah, so instead she spends all of her time in the gardens helping Elaine.
Yes.
Our girl, Elaine.
Mm-hmm. Then 2 days later.
Who has more personality, I think, in this part of the book than
The rest of the entire series.
that we don't know anything about yet.
Yeah.
When I was listening to the audiobook too, like Elaine's like commentary, her voice was so sweet and nice, and Nesta is just like the raging B word.
Oh, for sure.
So Elaine's like a really nice character. I think she's just a little daft.
I just think I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's on purpose. That's all. I'll say.
Ooh, okay. So 2 days before this ball that Father Archerin is going to be throwing in Feyre's honor, Nesta comes.
Plus, she's got all this money now. She's a rich woman. She can have her pick of the litter of men.
I think that's why he was doing it too, so she could like be married off, maybe.
Yeah.
But Nesta comes clean that the glamour did not work that the High Lord put on them. She remembered everything. She even took the mercenary with her to go after Feyre to the wall to search for a way to find her. But with no luck, she returned home. And this was very out of character for Nesta as far as we knew her. So there's many mentions of Nesta being like uncaring, hating Feyre, not really
Name calling.
Yeah, not like being very hostile towards her.
Yep.
So when Nesta just confessed this was very out of pocket. Like we had no clue that Nesta even gave one flying flip about Feyre. She asked Feyre to tell her everything, and she did. So from this, the sisters bonded and started to know one another better. Feyre understood that Nesta is not the unfeeling person that she was, like this mask that Nesta was putting off.
If anything, I actually think it kind of showed that Nesta maybe felt too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and she, I think being the older sister, knew a lot more of things that were going on and the loss that they had. And just like, I think she more keenly felt the failure of their father. Cause like I think it's at this point that she says that like, her, like their family had all of this money. And their father could have sent out to get a cure or to help their mother, and he didn't.
Yeah. Their mother was sick, by the way.
Yeah.
So he didn't. And then he was also the reason for all of their like wealth being just flushed down the toilet. So there's a lot of resentment there.
And he didn't do anything. That was kind of, I think, the other part too.
He didn't fight for them.
Yeah. So I think she was saying that she kept pushing, hoping that he would actually like step up. And instead, Feyre was the one who did.
Yeah.
So it seemed, I think, to Feyre like that Nesta was coming down hard on her. And I think it was just Nesta's frustration with her father and the fact that Feyre was stepping up and not their father.
It was also mentioned too that Feyre and Nesta, I think more so at the beginning of the book, they're very alike. And that's why they clashed heads so much.
Right.
Both strong-willed.
Hard-headed.
Yeah.
After the ball, upon learning that the Better's home had been burned down with the family inside, Feyre freaks out and she realizes with the help from Nesta that she gave in and gave up too easily when it came to leaving Prythian. And that something terrible was happening and she needed to go and do what she could for Tamlin and try to save him. Talking bluntly in front of Elaine and Father Archerin, that broke the glamour that had held them captive. And they remembered everything and told her, go, go. Feyre finds the hole and gate in the wall and returns to Tamlin's home in the Spring Court, but it's empty, wrecked, and burned down in places.
So while coming to terms with the fate of the estate, Alice shows up. Alice tells Feyre the whole truth. She's tells her about Amarantha, about Under the Mountain, and what happened 100 years ago, and more specifically within the last 49 years. What's a 7x7?
7x7 is part of the curse.
Oh, right. She then explains Tamlin's curse specifically when it comes to the mask, or the masks, and how Feyre could have been the one to break that curse, and how 3 days after he told Feyre to leave, the curse's time was over, and Amarantha then shows up. She collects Tamlin and all of his court, and they disappear.
Yep.
To Under the Mountain. So then Feyre had Alice show her the way to get to Under the Mountain, even though Alice was like, no, it's a death trap. You shouldn't go. She's like, I'm going. I can do this. I can't read. I can't write.
Well, I think she was even like, you're a human.
Yeah. I have no magical powers whatsoever. I'm doing it. I'm saving Tamlin, my love, the court.
My love.
I shall redeem myself. So Alice begrudgingly shows her the way to Under the Mountain. And on her way, the adder gets her and brings her to Amarantha.
I always call it, when I was reading, I always call it the ACOTAR.
Is it? I think it's the adder.
I don't know. I did the tour as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I said adder in my brain. So that's how I'm saying it.
All right.
Whoever else says it differently, apologies. So Amarantha is feeling in a good mood since she's already got her anger out on Claire, the Claire,
Yep.
the real Claire, but better.
Yep. Hanging on the wall.
It was just
Rotting.
hanging up there,
tortured.
tortured, beaten, bruised, battered.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Poor thing.
She had nothing to deserve it.
Well, yeah.
She just existed, really.
Yeah. Tamlin does nothing. Literally nothing. He sits there like this.
Yeah. No reaction.
Nothing.
Nada.
And this is where the ultimate
And that's
ick
supposed
begins.
to be her love.
Yeah. If he didn't give you the ick before, this should have been it. He has no emotion. He pretends he doesn't even know Feyre.
I think his eyes widen at one point, and that's
Slightly.
like slightly, and that's when she realizes like, okay, he still loves me.
Like Feyre notices it.
I
but
think it's
yeah.
it's not like right at the beginning though. For the first like
No, she does a whole bunch of things, and then he finally
kind of
reacts
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Amarantha offers up to Feyre 3 trials that she has to win. A riddle to solve to be done at any time, and as a welcome to her court, she has Feyre beaten.
Give her
welcoming.
a welcome fitting for
Well,
my
she literally
court.
says the tour like give her a welcome fitting of my court.
Yes. When Feyre comes to, in her cell, Lucian finds her, and he has gotten some of his power back, and he heals Feyre just enough.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty...
Well,
she's like rotting
she's
away.
Human, so that he couldn't heal her fully because it would be
More noticeable.
noticeable that someone helped her.
Someone helped her. And
Yeah. And Lucian only got his powers back for the sake of breaking Tamlin and being
Yeah.
like, Tamlin, this is what you could get if you just give in to Amarantha.
Right.
Yeah, one of her ploys. So on the next full moon, the first trial begins, which brings us the Middengard, or the worm.
The worm.
She beats this thing. It is essentially a dirt poop labyrinth with bones
Yeah.
that the Middengard, the worm, lives in.
Yeah.
And Feyre goes in and she's trying to figure things out. And this worm, she realizes the worm is blind, but he can smell.
Yeah.
So she rolls around the poop.
Ew.
Yeah. At one point, so you can hear, I think it's a blue fairy and Rhysand talking. And they're like, ew, why is she doing that? And
Yeah.
Rhysand's like, the worm can't see her. She's essentially just made herself
Undetectable.
yeah
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it. Kind of like a smart girl.
Yep.
Smart girl. So one of the things that it was kind of fun, like reading it. So she had put some of the the pieces of bones, so like say like your femur bone, like your bigger leg bones, into the corners of this labyrinth to help her be faster.
Yeah.
So she's planned it out. She's kind of went around this labyrinth, checked it out, planned it out where she wants to fight this thing and how she's going to fight it. And yeah, so she ends up pretty much crushing this thing on a landmine of bones that all poke into its body and kill it. In the process, though, she also lands on a bone which embeds itself into her arm,
Blech.
like pretty deeply, and she can't get it out.
Yep.
So she's sent to her cell.
And she's covered in poop.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're
So
you're covered in poop dirt.
Yeah. You're
And you have
begging,
a bone stuck in your body.
You're
that's
begging
not,
for an
not
infection.
your own bone, someone else's bone.
Yeah.
Some unknown person's bones.
Just concerning.
Sticking
all
in there.
around. Not
Yeah.
a good situation.
I mean, I pictured a pretty sizable sized bone too. This thing could have been pretty small. Who knows?
It had to be big.
So, like it was like embedded.
Yeah. Right in there.
So Rhysand shows up. Feyre's there in her cell, and at this point, she is sick and she is dying from the infection. And Rhysand's kind of saying to her, he's like, "You probably think maybe the fever's not from a cold." He's like, "But I'm telling you right now, you're dying."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh shit."
Not death.
So he says to her, he's like, "Once this is all done,
I'll make you a deal.
well, he's like, you come and spend 2 weeks with me each month,
Yeah.
and in return, I will help you in this situation." And she's like, "Absolutely not." So they go back and forth, and eventually she negotiates for 1 week rather than 2, and he agrees. So in the Night Court, it is custom when a bond, an agreement is made of this sort, a tattoo is put on your body. So she also has this tattoo covering her entire left forearm and her hand, and there's a feline eye in the center of her palm. Now, from a distance, the tattoo looked like an elbow-length lace glove, but up close, it was intricate depictions of flowers and swirls. And in the light, you could see that it was actually more of like a blue, like a navy, rather than black. Included as part of Amarantha's deal, Feyre also had to do household tasks, which really kind of felt like mini trials. So essentially tasks that are put on Feyre as that are impossible. So the first is cleaning a dirty floor with even dirtier water. But Lucien's mom actually comes and she fixes the water as payment for Feyre when she was being tortured at one point for her name. Amarantha asked her name and Feyre refused to give it. They started torturing Lucien. So Feyre eventually gives in for Lucien's sake. So his mom shows up, kind of helps her out a little bit here. The second second one is the guards bring her to this room and she has to clean lentils out of the ash of a fireplace.
Could you imagine?
Right?
So tedious.
Well, it ends up, so they're pretty much like, if this guy comes back, he's going to pretty much like skin you alive if you haven't done this. Well, it ends up being Rhysand's room. He shows up, they're like chit-chatting and stuff, and he's kind of alludes to what people think of him versus who he actually is are two different things. Because he's like, I would never type of thing. But he kind of talk a little bit, and he does show her his shifted form.
Yep.
With his bat wings.
Delicious bat wings.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, he mentions that he doesn't do a full shift like Tamlin, but I think he can.
He can. He
Yeah.
just chooses not to
Yeah.
because he doesn't like it. He prefers like this other form more.
Yeah.
So do we, Rhysand.
Yeah.
So
Please
do
do
we.
not turn into a disgustingly ugly bat creature.
Although, can you imagine? Because essentially he keeps his body just like with the wings, and I think his hands still turn into like the claws as well.
Yeah.
And possibly his feet. But imagine Tamlin if he was still like a wolf,
Ugh.
but like a wolf man.
with hooves
Just trotting around.
and deer antlers just coming up?
Yeah.
No, thank you. Ick.
It just doesn't give the same
No.
the same vibe.
No.
Rhysand then gives the orders to the guards that there will be no more of these tasks.
Yeah.
He tells them that they are to stay out of her cell and they're not to touch her, and if they do, they will gut themselves. Pretty much like he's putting his power over their minds, that like if you decide to do this, if you touch her, if you mess with her, you will kill yourself.
And at this point, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Okay,
does he have an
daddy.
ulterior motive here?
no, you're just immediately attracted if you're like me.
This is probably the point actually where, well, not this point, but like when he goes to help her out for the bond, that I think Susie got the ick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, but
But wait. But daddy, I love him.
so Rhysand after this sends two of these like shadow fae to get Feyre. They paint her, put makeup on her, coil her hair around a gold diadem, which is like a little crown. I have a picture in case anyone's wondering.
Picture.
Yeah, so her hair is like coiled around this diadem and it's embedded with lapis lazuli.
Gorgeous.
And they put her in a dress. So Feyre describes the look as a heathen god's plaything. So it's essentially these
basically see-through.
It's this gauzy fabric that's like two strips that go over her boobs, and there's a little belt low on her waist that kind of holds these strips together, and then there's another strip.
But the strips are like basically sheer.
Yeah. And there's another strip around her nether regions, but that's it.
Yeah. But
Basically, yeah, leaves nothing to the imagination.
Yeah.
She's showing everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Basically.
But when Rhysand sees her, he says, "You look just as I hoped you would."
Interesting. So we have the second full moon, which is trial number 2, and Are you
I'm hitting that point.
You're going past the point
That
of
point
bliss.
where alcohol makes you happy.
I'm tipsy.
So Feyre's second trial takes place in a chamber.
I think Cass is hitting that point as well.
Susie's like, I hate dealing with these
we
two.
won't ever get through this episode.
Chug.
I'm already at that point. I'm trying to be coherent the last part of this.
What fun is that?
Yeah. Be incoherent.
We have so much more to go through.
Well,
That's okay.
you can still read when you're tipsy.
Yeah. Just make it
Can we,
messy.
though?
Doing it right now.
Okay. The chamber is basically filled with questions and levers with spikes descending upon Lucien on the other side of this gate. So basically,
claw. Claw.
guys, pray for me.
Claws are master. He decides who will go and who will stay.
Okay, Buzz Lightyear.
No, that was the little alien
aliens.
dude.
I know, but I think they said it too, Buzz Lightyear. Yeah.
No, Woody. Woody goes in to save.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The claw.
That clown. Carry
All
on,
right,
Susie.
guys.
So anyways, the claw's descending.
The claw's descending.
The spikes are descending.
Yeah.
Feyre needs to answer this question, but she can't read. So she's like basically stressing out, thinking
She's like, I'm illiterate.
there's 3 levers that she has to pull. And basically she's like, I'm going to go with number 2 because 1 is Amarantha and she's alone. So that can't be good. 2 is me and Tamlin. And 3 is like my sisters and it's too much. So the answer's got to be 2.
The love of my life,
She-
Tamlin.
But I also thought it was funny because like she says something. She's like, the cauldron wouldn't guide me wrong. And I was like, when did you start believing the cauldron?
Yeah.
Yeah, she literally says throughout the whole book, she doesn't believe in the mother or the cauldron.
It was after she banged Tamlin. She was like, cauldron.
Yeah.
And then I saw her face.
But she's 19, so we have to give her
I'm
some
a
grace.
believer.
Okay.
We used to.
So she
made it through
goes,
a paragraph yet.
y'all need to compose yourself.
If I didn't already pee out of pee my pants.
So she goes and reaches for the second lever, but her hand starts burning. So she's like, oh my gosh, I can't pull number 2. That's not the right answer. But she goes to reach for it again just in case it was like,
She's like,
you know.
maybe I didn't feel
Was
it right
I thought
the
it was
first
like
time.
shocks. I thought it was like a shock through her body.
No, it was burning. It was burning. Her hand starts burning.
She's like, you know what? That hurt so good. I'm gonna do it again.
Her tattooed hand starts burning. So she like goes to double check and she's like, nope, it actually is burning. So then she goes for number 3. That one doesn't burn. And then she goes for number 1. That one burns. So then she goes number 3 again. And she realizes that she's having help from Rhysand to answer this question because he knows that she can't read.
Yep.
She wins this trial. Lucian is spared because he's freaking out this whole time. Like, answer it. Not
Yeah.
knowing
Well,
she
then
can't
he's
read.
like, talk about stress because he's screaming at her.
got
And he's
spikes,
like by like that point too. He's like, I don't care what lever you pull.
anything.
Yeah. He's like, just pull one. Either
Yeah.
save me or kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
One
he's
or
like,
the
this-
other.
Yeah. The suspense is killing me,
Please.
literally.
Yeah. So she completes this trial. Lucian is spared and he's like kissing the ground at this point.
Yeah, he was.
And she is filled with like emotion. She feels like she's going to cry, but Rhysand speaks into her mind. as
Well, I think she
basically
feels like a failure because she didn't actually win the trial, right? Because
Yeah.
she's, again, illiterate.
She had help.
Yeah.
Nobody else
Yeah,
knows
no.
that.
But also, can we talk about the difference between trial 1 and trial 2?
Trial
like
one
you
was-
went
Trial
from,
2 is
you went from
easy.
fighting this giant worm that was going to eat you with thousands of teeth
To pulling a lever.
to pulling a
Pull
lever.
the lever, Kronk.
Wrong lever.
You know, I'm actually surprised y'all know these movies, considering that was like
Oh.
my generation.
No. What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean by
Emperor's
that?
New Groove came out way before you.
I watched it when I was
Yeah, you were
little.
probably 4.
Yeah.
Beth and I were 10.
I watched it when I was 10.
That means we were
Sip
like
my drink.
15.
Still worth it.
So Rhysand speaks into her
We watched
mind.
it enough to quote it.
Bro,
And play the video games.
You can include all this in.
I am. It would be impossible not to.
Carry on.
So Rhysand is speaking into her mind. Don't let Amarantha see you cry. Don't let her break you. So she holds strong, goes back to her cell, and then she starts weeping. I don't know why my voice just did there.
Sweeping.
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 She starts weeping, sweeping her tears on the floor. After that, she starts to spiral into depression. Rhys shows up and angers her, which she realizes helped her to keep from shattering completely, which you don't think that would help someone from mentally having a mentee be.
But I think with a lot of times when you're dealing with depression, you give up, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think like Rhysand just came and angered her enough that it wasn't just like completely just.
Yeah.
She felt something. She
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
numb.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I am still mentally here. Okay, cool. Let's do this.
So then she remains in that depression for a little while longer, and then she gets pulled to another party where she loses herself in the fairy wine.
Just like
Again.
you and me, Beth. Just like you and me.
We lose ourselves in the fairy.
We
land.
have lost our
is-
The
That
Rose of
fair.
Prythian.
the Rose of Prythian wine.
So she's heading to this other party, and then the two shadows, Rhysand's basically shadow girls, they hide and overhear the ACOTAR and a pig-sounding fairy who is the subject of Highburn discussing things. And basically the king expects Amarantha to come to his aid for a war against the humans, but the ACOTAR says that basically Amarantha doesn't do anything that isn't supporting what she wants.
Yeah.
So this pig guy is less than impressed by the trials.
Well, I think he's saying the king is less than impressed by the trials. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, just so you know, he's like, the king's less than impressed by this. I think the basis of it was the king's letting Amarantha do her thing for now, but if she fails to come to his aid again,
she's done.
there's
Yeah.
going to be
Consequences.
Yes.
Consequence.
yes.
So Feyre, continuing to wallow in her depression, she hears this music, and it's different from what she normally hears, but she describes it as a lilting melody. When she closes her eyes, she can hear it more clearly, and with the music, she can envision it almost. She's lost in this dream world of music for a bit. It moves her beyond words, and she cries as she feels the warmth of it bind things together for her.
It's a magical moment.
So Feyre is at yet another party. She's completely alone at the edge of it. Just the loser.
I'm over here.
No one's paying attention to her when suddenly her hero Tamlin appears.
Which I think her not having anyone pay, like especially Rhysand or Amarantha not paying attention to her is rare.
Yeah.
But she says like Amarantha's doing whatever,
Doing
and
Amarantha
Rhysand's
things.
got some fairy on his lap.
Yeah. And he is right beside her. He goes through a door. She goes in after him. It was dark and he quickly jumped her.
To the neck.
They start going at it.
Yeah.
They're like, and then Rhys shows up. He's like, well, hold on now.
Yeah.
Why not me? He's obviously less than impressed. And not because someone has touched his pet, but because of how foolish they're being in such like close quarters with people surrounding them that should not be.
Well, if anyone were to catch them,
AKA Amarantha.
yeah, anyone other than him, really.
Yeah.
She'd be dead.
Yeah, exactly. And he basically is like, do you even know what this would mean if you guys got caught? Whatever. While chastising her, he suddenly starts kissing her, and then Amarantha appears. And she gloats at how fickle human love is.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, huh.
I don't think we mentioned it either that she's got Jurian, her sister's ex-lover, his
his eyeball in a ring.
And she's
Yeah.
like, look, Jurian,
Look at what's happening.
Yes. And Jurian is a human too. So Amarantha has this seething hatred for humans.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's why she makes the comment about like how fickle Feyre's heart is.
Yeah.
And but I think like but Jurian, so Amarantha's sister was like, you can never die. And so I guess Amarantha keeps that bone on her necklace of his, like his finger bone or something.
finger bone, yeah.
Yeah.
And
then
his eyeball.
eye.
And it's like,
Yeah.
as long as she has those, he can never die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just unhinged, this woman.
Yeah.
So the
Same.
same.
She's always like,
She's like, look at you.
My old friend.
yeah, and the eyeballs in there like,
Where am I looking?
Oh my goodness.
So the same night, Rhysand shows up in her cell for a moment of peace and quiet, stating that he was Tor, lonely, and she was the only one he could talk to without
Tor?
having.
Tor.
Yeah, what's Tor mean?
Tired?
I'm tired.
I love how you just went with it.
I did. I was like, she ripped his butthole. I don't know. Okay, let's go back.
So actually he did, but he does say that Amarantha is running him ragged, and
Yes.
he mentions him being her hooer.
Tired.
So I mean, he, might
He
have
was a
been-
tired
He might have
whore.
been. He might have been.
He was
he might
AKA
have
a
been
tour.
He might have been a tour hooer. I got the door tour.
Can't. This is not. This has gone
Do it-
so
a drinking game could be how
offside.
many movies do we quote during this episode?
And Susie's sober over there. Anyways,
I'm trying to
Sober
be sober. I have to
Susie.
keep it. I have to watch the thing. I have to do the cameras. I can't be drunk, guys.
Sober
fair.
Susie sober.
we're just the
I'm more
degenerates
sleepy,
over here.
Susie, a little tipsy, but still coherent.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyways, he's tired.
Yep.
He's lonely. She was the only one he could talk to without risk. He explains a bit about the relationship between him and Amarantha and Tamlin. Basically, Amarantha is using Rhysand as his little sex slave.
Yes.
Can we blame her?
As like punishment though.
yeah, as
because-
punishment. Yeah.
His dad killed Tamlin's dad and brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Amarantha's in love with Tamlin.
Well, I think it was even more than that, though, is that so Tamlin and Amarantha grew up together. Amarantha didn't really have the feelings for him at the beginning, I think, like as kids and stuff, but like his family was very close with her family. And when everything was going on, like Tamlin's dad and brothers supported Highburn, and Rhys's dad was like, absolutely not, and killed them.
Right.
When she collected all of the courts and she took over and everything, I think that was like one of her things was like, I'm going to punish you for what you've done to not only my love, but my love's family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Feyre's getting a little bit of an insight on kind of how Rhysand is and his like play and all of the
I think it's the first time that she gets like such an honest look
at him. Which brings us to the third full moon and the third and final trial. Let's set the tone. The crowd is quiet. Some wish her an honorable goodbye. They're already saying,
Sayonara.
sayonara, Feyre. You ain't gonna make this one. Feyre still does not have an answer for the riddle. Same girl. Same.
Well, and she kind of gives up at this point. She's just like, I'm human, I'm dumb.
Feyre was just along for the vibes, like I was reading
Yeah.
for the vibes. 'cause
I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trial consists of 3 fae with 3 sacks over each of their heads and 3 servants carrying 3 ash daggers. Feyre is to kill each one by stabbing them in the heart. As she is to stab each one, their mask is taken off so Feyre can see their faces as she kills them. Just diabolical. She will hear their family mourn in the crowd, and it's just rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she does remark about how brilliantly cruel Amarantha was for this.
To kill a fairy, fall in love with a fairy, then forced to kill a fairy to keep that love.
Yep.
So the first cries out, begging over and over.
He's like, please don't do this.
Please,
Please.
no.
I want to live.
The second prays and boldly nods to Feyre to do it while keeping eye contact. And the third is Tamlin.
The shock.
But we didn't know it would have been Tamlin because Tamlin was sitting on the throne beside
she
her.
says she walks in, she sees Tamlin, he's sitting there all blasé on his little pedestal there.
Yeah.
Turns out to be the ACOTAR in disguise.
Yeah.
And Tamlin's the one under the third sack.
Exactly. Feyre's mind goes into overdrive, hyperdrive. Like her brain's kind of starting to put things together because she's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So she starts to kind of go back through her memories of the things that people said around her that she wasn't supposed to hear. She realized they were all kind of doing it on purpose. Doors were left open, conversations were being had in her that she could overhear. They were under like a spell of sorts that they weren't allowed to tell her. When Alice sent her under the mountain, Alice said there was still a part of things that they were still like they still couldn't tell her.
Yeah.
So her brain's just like going into overdrive. She starts to piece it all together and she realizes that Tamlin's heart could not be pierced.
Because it kept saying he has a heart of stone.
Yeah. For someone with a heart of stone, it's awfully soft. There was some play on words, and she's like, well, they either can mean this literal and so she's like,
Legit.
But then she also says, like, the whole time they've been together, she's never heard his heartbeat.
Yeah.
Too. So she's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm going to trust myself.
Yeah.
well, and she said when she makes the decision that she's going to stab him, Tamlin, he kind of gives a small smile, and you could tell that she was like, okay, I'm making the right choice.
Yeah.
Stabs him in the heart, and when it hits his heart, the blade bends back on itself.
And she was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
She was right.
So she beat the trials. They're still alive. Everyone's super happy. The crowd's like, let them go. And Amarantha is like, absolutely not. Her tricks are not over yet. She goes on to say that even though she said that they would survive if she were to beat the trials, she only made the deal that they would be let go immediately. They would be released immediately if she solved the riddle. She's like, I'm assuming that you assumed I meant for all of it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
She's like, joke's on you.
Yeah. So
fairy.
everything's all about like the specific wording, right?
Yeah.
She starts to beat Freya to death.
Freya?
Feyre to death. Excruciatingly so. Rhys tries to fight Amarantha. And that's when Amarantha realizes his betrayal and everything, being like, you planned this. Feyre says she flashes between her body and his as she feels the bond between us goes taut. Tamlin starts to apologize to Amarantha, hoping for mercy for Feyre. And through the pain and continued beating, the answer to the riddle comes to Feyre. And with her dying breath, she says, it's love.
I didn't see it coming. I'm just going to say.
I was like, maybe it's gonna be something else, like maybe something a little bit more complex. But like when she first was like, this is the riddle, I was like, this is gonna be something stupid.
Yeah,
like
no.
love.
It just did not even occur to me. Did you get it?
No. I'm not clever enough to
I know.
solve this riddle.
Riddles? Me? No.
So Feyre is far away, but still seeing, and she realizes what's happening as she's seeing through Rhysand's eyes. She sees Tamlin lose his mind in shock, but he's also got his strength back, and because the masks are no longer stuck to their faces.
Yep.
I think Tamlin leaves his on, but like
goes-
Lucian takes his off.
He goes full beast mode.
Yeah.
He attacks Amarantha, and after sticking a sword pretty much like through her head,
Through her head.
Yeah.
Above her eyebrow.
he rips out her throat, essentially
And
killing her.
goodbye, Amarantha.
Bye-bye.
Good riddance.
Adios.
So then, one by one, Feyre's basically deceased at this point, but she's seeing what's happening through the bond that she has with Rhysand. So one by one, she sees the High Lords drop a spark of their power into herself. And once she comes to, she feels strong. She feels a little bit different. She looks at her hands and her fingers are a little longer than usual.
I think she even mentions like the chandeliers because she's lying there and she's like, oh, I never noticed that the chandeliers.
Yeah.
Like-
and everything looks different. It looks like how Tamlin showed her, like how he looked, like sparkly and bright and everything. All of her senses are heightened, basically. She realizes she is high fae, immortal. She understands what happened. And then beneath Claire's body on the wall, she sees Amarantha, and Tamlin is without his mask, and she's everything he dreamed of.
Oh, just so perfect.
Yeah, everything she imagined.
Yeah. But she's overwhelmed, and as she comes to terms with the lives she just took and her new heightened senses, she has to figure out what happens next. So her and Tamlin get it on. In the middle of sleep, she has a tugging, deep feeling inside. And we all pretty much knew like what that tugging was. She knew who was calling her and summoning her. So Rhysand says goodbye to her, basically, for now, because they still have that bargain that they agreed to under the mountain. They have a little heart-to-heart. Rhysand admits that he loves his wings and that he doesn't admit this to people very often because typically things that he loves gets taken away from him. And then he's poof, gone. But before he goes, his eyes widen. And then Feyre's like,
shock.
what the heck? And then he's gone. And then, back with Tamlin and everything. She's happy, but still struggling with the lives she took. Back at the spring court, she sees Alice running after 2 boys, and Feyre is and feels like she is home, finally.
Finally.
And scene.
And that's it. That's the book. That was long.
That was long. I feel like we made things worse.
Okay, so this isn't the first time we've read ACOTAR.
This is a reread.
This is a reread. So how did your expectations going in differ from your experience reading the first book? Like, how did they mesh up?
So I had very low expectations with the first book when I first read it. I read it in the hospital and I was in to give birth, and the amount of nurses that stopped to talk to me, because originally they brought me into, because I was being induced, brought me into a room. So I started reading there. And then they kicked us out to the hallway because they needed the room for other people because it was taking so long for us to get to the operating room. And yeah, so I'm sitting there in the hallway of the hospital in like a dressing gown reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. And almost every single nurse that walked by like stopped and they're like, "Oh, is this your first time?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is." Obviously not to give birth. Well, not obviously, but not to give birth, but to read the book. Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, like some of them were like how they had like a book club of the nurses at the hospital who all read it and they read the other ones. And yeah, and like I read quite a lot of it at the hospital, and then I had to go on pause because I had to give birth and yeah, I had a newborn that I had to contend with. But as soon as I was able to kind of get back into it again, then I like devoured it and the rest of them. But I was definitely along for the ride. I was there for the vibes.
Yeah.
I did not pay attention to like the little stuff. Like I did not notice the watery bowels until the reread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the reread as much as you did the first time reading it?
No, it took me a lot more to get into. I really enjoyed it when the trial started.
Yeah.
When she went under the mountain, that for me, it was all of a sudden I was like my kids were trying to talk to me and I'm just like, shh, shh, shh.
See, I was the opposite.
Mama's reading.
I liked that part.
I hated the trials. I
Really?
hated it every single time. I just
Is
wanted
it
to,
the
like, skim through it.
anxiety?
I think so. I get really anxious reading thrillers. I get such bad anxiety that I feel like I can't breathe. So that's probably why I don't like it.
Yeah. I went in with high expectations because of you, Susie. You were the one who like ranted and raved about the book. It took me about 21, 22 chapters to actually fully get into it. So when I went to go do a reread, I was like, I have to get all the Tamlin stuff out of the way.
I enjoyed it, and like, but the first time, like even actually, I would say the first time, it's kind of hard to say because I was in a very busy hospital setting reading it. But yeah, like I remember devouring the end of it. But yeah, like even this time, like once like that kind of happened, it was like.
Well, I think I really enjoyed it too. Like people were comparing it to Beauty and the Beast, and I love Beauty and the Beast. So any type of retelling, I was like, yeah, I'm into it, and that's why I liked it. The Tamlin stuff, because that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. But I would say the Beauty and the Beast parallel only really is relevant for the first half of the book.
Yeah.
So if that's something that deters you, I would say just soldier on because
It will.
you
will get past it.
Yeah.
But my reread was tough. I think just knowing everything.
That was your third reread.
This was
Yeah, I
my
was gonna say
third.
this isn't your second reread.
The third time is a charm. I think I'm done after this. I'm like, in our last podcast
You probably
episode,
would need. I wouldn't be surprised if you read it again, but you'll probably need a good break before you really do it again.
Yeah.
Well, like not the last episode we released, but the episode before. I was like, oh, I do a reread every single year, which I have. It's going to be in a couple years before I do another. Yeah, I think the third
But it
time's
is
charm
when
for
I
me
talk
right
about
now.
doing my Nora Roberts rereads, like you almost like you think about it, and if you're like, nah, and there's something you're like, wait,
maybe.
yeah, you kind of feel that itch for that story again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will come again.
I think I just really want to reread it for the second book.
Yes.
Because that's
book
my
is
favorite out of the whole
Same.
series. But
Yeah.
We kind of touched on the Beauty and the Beast parallels. And I think it's pretty obvious from our summary of the book where those parallels are. And you said that having that Beauty and the Beast parallel kind of actually, I guess, guided you to read that book.
like drew me in.
Yeah. How did you feel about that?
Well, I liked Beauty and the Beast. I just thought going into it, I was like, oh, I don't want a retelling of Beauty and the Beast.
I do remember you saying that
Yeah,
too. Like,
because-
I don't want to read about Beauty and the Beast.
Like, well, because there's only one Beauty and the Beast, right? So it's like, but then yeah, like once I got past, I think it was once Rhysand was involved, once she went under their mountain, I was like, I'm hooked.
Then it changes. Then
Changes the game.
Then it very much goes from a Beauty and the Beast retelling to like a Hunger Games-esque
Yeah.
book.
So that for me was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. That part I find too, like the Beauty and the Beast part of it is kind of the part of the book where what you think is happening and what is actually happening are so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even realize because you, like Feyre, are only getting parts of the story of all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Right. And you're trying to fill in the blanks just like she's trying to fill in the blanks, but you don't really know. You're just happily skipping through the spring courts.
Yeah.
and-
Meanwhile, this was
Falling in love.
planned. It's revealed that this was planned throughout this whole time. So it wasn't just a coincidence that Tamlin showed up at Feyre's door. He was sending people out.
Well, and that was part of it. That was part of
Yeah.
the curse, right? So the curse
Yeah.
was, we didn't talk about this in the summary, but the curse was Tamlin fought for, I think, the rights of humans and
Yeah.
the right of being human, really. And Amarantha was like, okay, if you feel like that, then I curse you. They were all stuck with their masks. She invites all of them, asks him to bring his servants as well, sticks them all with the masks to be glued to their faces for 49 years, the 7x7 as part of the curse. He has to pretty much essentially... a human with hate for the Fae in their heart has to kill a Fae and then fall in love with Tamlin and vocally tell him that they love him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before the time runs out.
Yeah.
And then poof, curse is gone. But that did not happen.
Yeah.
Alas. Feyre was basically like when Tamlin told Feyre to go, he told her, I love you. Like she wanted to say it back, but she couldn't bring herself to.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, she regrets that because she does realize she loves him.
Well, and Lucian was even funny. He's like, just give her more time because he's like, you've told her that you love her. Like, give her more time. And Tamlin's like, no.
Right.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Basically.
Stupid. I think I said this before, but you do forget that Tamlin was trained and meant to be a warrior.
Yeah. Not the High Lord of the Spring Court.
Yeah.
Right.
So he talks about how he wasn't supposed to be this person, and there was some rough years as he tried to figure things out because he just went and joined like his father's like war camp and trained as a warrior. And I think he said like if he at one point that he would have gotten into music if that was an option to him.
Yeah. And they bonded a lot over like how they were perceived by others. So like Feyre was called a beast by Nesta, whereas Tamlin was called a beast because that was his animal form.
Yeah.
Right.
By, I believe, the people
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
in his court. So
Yeah.
they found common ground there and kind of bonded through their mutual trauma. And then Feyre's feelings started to change.
Yeah.
Right.
So Feyre went from hating Tamlin to pity for him and the burdens he carries to then loving him.
So let's talk about red flags and trauma response, when it pertains to Feyre with Tamlin. Feyre was looked at as a possession to Tamlin in the beginning.
One of the things that gets skipped over so much in this book when it comes to Feyre is how much he lied to her,
Yeah, that too.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and I understand that.
Literally
I understand
everything.
that they tried to get her to understand some things, but she describes it as she realizes these things that they wanted her to overhear. At the same time, it doesn't really pertain to her understanding what was going on. More like she in her brain, because during the trials, she started to like piece all these conversations together of everyone's trying to tell me that Tamlin has a heart of stone.
Right.
But it'd be interesting to look at it and be like, well, what were they trying to tell you about the curse and what was actually going on?
I think another red flag that I got from Tamlin was his rage and how easily he just like
Flipped a
destroyed
switch.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like a huge
Well, and
red
like,
flag.
yeah, because like after Rhysand showed up,
He destroyed the whole like
Dining room.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but that would cause me to be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
she's like, it's fine. He's just angry.
Angry,
Yeah.
naive 19-year-old. And then Calanmai, it starts with Feyre not being able to see that the Fae are gathered there. But later, after being cornered and seeing Rhysand, she talks about the crowd and describes them. This was before she could see like all
This was
of
before the
people in
glamour was
court.
removed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I think
strange.
that's why she could see them in the peripherals but not head on, is because they were glamours. So technically, like after he kisses her, she wakes up the next morning, she sees Alice in her true form, and she looks out right at the gardens, and there's all of these fae.
They've been
Yeah.
here
And
the
she's
whole
going through the
time.
she's going through the hallways, and all of a sudden she's
Yeah.
like bumping into people,
Yeah.
and she's like, where'd they all come from?
And then she gets like a
Yeah.
surge of embarrassment because people are like, this was after she
Yeah.
had ran after the puka that looked like her father.
Yeah, so
and
there-
she's like
yeah.
sneaking through the court, and
Yeah.
she's like,
She
I'm
thinks
being so
she's being
sneaky.
all
and people are just
stealthy.
the other fair like, what the heck?
Like, what's wrong with you?
But that's what I mean when I kind of said earlier, like, did they not know that they were glamored?
Yeah.
I think they
Right?
did. They probably
Yeah.
did because they would have had to like not talk.
But
to
I mean, like,
her.
Alice was like, what is wrong with you?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't know she was glamored, or maybe she didn't realize the glamour
Maybe to the
made her look
extent.
regular.
Yeah.
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 Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny when you're like, they were talking about that, and like Lucian and Tamlin are laughing, being like, yeah, you weren't as stealthy as you
Yeah.
thought you were.
I hated that too. That was part of the lying thing because why not just like
but that was at her expense at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't the intention, but
just
it
make
was.
her feel comfortable, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I would feel just such embarrassment
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
And I would never face anyone ever again. Right?
Yep. Yeah. So I think in the part of Calanmai when she's dealing with the crowd, I just don't understand, because if you don't see people in the hall and not even your peripherals, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're in the middle of this crowd, it was just very confusing of could you see them or couldn't you?
Right.
Kind of maybe.
Yeah, because she doesn't, up until that point when she's in the manor, she doesn't talk about seeing things out of the corner of her eye. Because if she's talking
Yeah.
about all of these fae are running around the estate and in the gardens, and she's like, where do they all come from? And she's freaking out.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything at all?
Yeah.
I think because Tamlin warned her about this event and how there's going to be lots of people and to stay inside, maybe he removed the glamour
A
slightly.
little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe he didn't. And because his power was like so he was focused on something else. He's not really himself. Maybe his power just like lifted the glamour a little bit, not a lot, because his attention was elsewhere.
Right.
It's just looking back at it, hindsight, it's a little confusing to understand.
Yeah.
It
You know what I
is.
mean?
I
Like-
caught that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
During the scene in the dining hall, when Rhysand shows up, he says to Tamlin that Feyre would have been the one for you. What do we think that means? I genuinely have no idea.
No.
Because a
I don't get
mate
it
bond
either.
is not altered.
No.
So what does that even mean?
Maybe he's saying this like she would have been the one for you if the curse wasn't about to be like expired, basically. Like your time isn't going to expire. If you had more time with her, maybe she would have been the one for you.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, ladies, under the mountain. Would you have survived
No.
the trials?
I would have died 0.5 seconds into trial number 1.
Correct. The worm would have eaten me.
And we would have been like, ooh.
So Feyre had a very interesting approach.
Survival skills, 0.
That's yeah. Like when she was sticking the bones into the mud, I was like, girl,
Yeah.
I would never even think about that.
Nope.
No, I
Never would have survived.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I could have survived the second 2 trials. That trial though,
That was too much.
my best bet I think would be going into its mouth with some like really pointy bones that I found, and then try to kill it from the inside.
Oh yeah,
Fair.
do like a Hercules situation.
Yeah.
Like that multi-headed thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they describe this thing's mouth as like having like rows upon rows of teeth. Like,
Yep.
I don't know if I would have made it inside.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah. Or do you like, and like when they're talking about the people watching it, like she can hear everyone. So like, it's not like she's like that far down. Like,
Yeah. So no.
No on all
I don't.
accounts.
No.
Yeah.
No.
First trial, dead.
Yeah.
Favorite and least favorite moments, best quote.
Best quote. There you are.
I've been looking for you.
Chapter 20.
And
Watery
we'll get into
bowels.
why.
That's your favorite quote?
It's an interesting one. You're not going to find that in a lot of books.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll get into why it's our favorite in the second deep dive for the second book.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna be digging even deeper, I
Oh,
think.
Lord.
Lord.
Scene that hurt you the most? For me, it was the blue skin fairy. I found that heartbreaking.
yeah.
Yeah, that was very heartbreaking.
Even like just Feyre saying that about how if it was her, she would want someone to hold her hand and be with her there to the very end.
And not die alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another scene that hurt you, Beth, the most was when Tamlin was reading poems.
Ugh. I mean, that hurt
That was
me.
just
That hurt
painful
me
in a whole
different
other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ick was icking.
Yeah.
I still think I had my grade 8 boyfriend wrote me like a book of poems, which was probably like very maybe unlike a grade 8-year-old, like a grade 8. You would have been what, 12?
Yeah.
Like 11, 12 in grade 8?
Yeah.
So you're like 13, 14 in grade 9?
Yeah.
So I mean, good for him,
Yeah.
but I got the ick.
But thank you.
And I broke up with him.
Fair.
Is there a scene in the book that made you scream or want to throw it?
When Feyre went back to the human lands, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
She was stubborn so much up until that point. The Suriel literally said, stay with the High Lord. And you're like, just accepting. Okay, I'm going to leave now.
Yeah.
And the Suriel is supposed to be like this all-knowing creature. And now you're just going against what it said.
I think we're going to have to revisit these questions in the next book.
Mine was
yeah.
when she went back to the friggin' spring court after everything.
So
Really?
yours is when she left. Yours is when she went back.
She loved him.
That's exactly why. Stupid.
I don't think there's ever a
Okay.
point in this book that made me want to scream or
I was
throw
just
it.
irritated. I was like, back to
Yeah.
him? Come on.
Okay, what if Ty was Tamlin? And then he's
Ty
like,
would-
see
Ty
ya.
would never
and
be
then,
Tamlin.
Okay, well, I mean.
And then
he
I would
does-
never go back
he
if
hunts
Ty was
Tamlins.
Tamlin.
He hunts Tamlins.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. All right, book ratings.
Spice, 0.25.
Yeah, 0.5.
There's like one scene. I'd put it at a 1 for me.
1.
0.5 to
Because
a
there's
1.
one scene.
One
Yeah.
scene. You can't. Susie.
That neck detail, though.
Oh.
Who's loving up on that neck?
The
Okay.
writing.
The writing.
First time I read it, 5. This time I read it like a 3.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.
I'd give it like a 4.
Okay.
Because I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the ending.
Try reading it again. You'll change
yeah.
you'll change your rating.
That would change things for sure.
And plot.
Plot, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Overall, I did 3.75.
Okay.
Spice check.
All right.
All right.
Who's going first?
Whoever's got theirs locked and loaded.
I mean,
don't even know
mine's
where my
good
Kindle
here, ready
is.
to go. I'm just waking up.
All right. I think
I'm ready.
You went first last time.
Okay.
So I'll go first this time.
We should start rock, paper, scissors.
We should.
We should, but I feel like that would take too much time.
Okay.
All right, this is from Brimstone at page 259. He drove his tongue between my folds one more time, flicking my clit. So damned cruel. All right, fine, I'll drink from you, Saris, but not out of any love I have for the gods. I'll do it to make you come on my tongue and my fingers. I'll do it to make you scream.
Oh.
That's definitely a 5.
Yeah, I was going to
wow,
say a
thank you.
4.5 for
Oh my
sure.
goodness.
Also, there's just, maybe it's because it's been used so much, but folds.
The folds?
The folds.
The folds
slick
is something
folds.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the high rating. It's about freaking time.
That was good. It was fast, straight to the point, dirty. I
Not
like it.
super long.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
taking
Sometimes
marks
you just keep
down.
going, and I'm just
It's
like,
because I'm trying to convince y'all, and you just want to take like the sock and put it in my mouth. You're
Slowly but surely.
If it makes you feel better, I'd lick it first.
Does not.
Yours is just a baby.
It's just I like them short and sweet. Yeah.
All right, hit
Yeah.
me. Hit
All
me
right.
with it.
So I decided to do one from our book club for the first time. So I did the We Who Will Die.
Okay.
And I did short and sweet, so it doesn't give too much away.
Okay.
Perfect.
This is from page 279. I kiss his throat in return, pulling his skin into my mouth and marking him. Tiernan lets out a pleased grunt, angling his cock to rub against my clit. Choking on a gasp, I yank desperately at his tunic.
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's just...
I'll give it a
Just
4.
like a... Okay.
You rated me high. I'll put you at a 4.
Oh, thanks.
Well, that's so nice of you.
That's nice.
Okay.
Your turn.
Mine's from Heated Rivalry.
Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Page 17.
It's going to be 5 already. I know it.
Ooh, so low. And
They showered together, and Shane dropped to his knees because he couldn't let Rosanoff go without tasting him. Rosanoff murmured his approval as he loomed over Shane in the spacious rainfall shower. His strong hands cradled Shane's head and long fingers curled in his wet hair. Shane turned his eyes up and found Rosanoff gazing down at him with that damn crooked smile. Shane immediately closed his eyes and felt his cheeks flush, and to his embarrassment, his own cock got harder. Brought Rosanoff right to the brink and then pulled off, catching the man's release on his chin and lips and probably on his neck.
I give it a 4.
It's a 4.5 for me. That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode today. If you like this episode, let us know by hitting that like button. Give us a follow, subscribe wherever you're listening. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you can listen to podcasts. We're basically everywhere. Hype us up. Hype us up. That's a new thing on YouTube. Hype us up. Give us some love. Yeah. You can also find our book club on Fable at Plot Twist Please. That's in the description if you want to look for that.
Any books that we discuss in there, we will be doing future episodes on the following month. So that's your heads up. If you want to know what we're talking about on future episodes, check out our book club because those are books we will be talking about the next month.
Yep. And at the beginning of every month, book club picks are posted on the community tab on YouTube too. So
and
keep an
on
eye
our
out for
Instagram.
That. Yep. Everywhere.
Well. Yeah. Thanks for joining on this episode.
Keep your glass, your bookshelf, and your TBR full.
Cheers.